Mr. Dugu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I told her because she would have started with the Gayaza High School because I did 22 years at Gayaza High School. On 17th September, I attended the Transforming Education Summit in New York. It was a United Nations summit. And the message was very clear. All children need a decent education. And we need to close the learning gap. But digitizing education is going to be critical in this era. And while we talk about digitization, connectivity is key. And this is where RENU comes in. The second message was pilots should stop and scale out. So RENU having 54 schools out of the 3,000 is not acceptable. But we know that the resources are needed. So whoever can to support RENU, please do, because we in the education sector, we need this service. I'm happy to be sitting amongst technical people. I'm not techie myself. I'm only pedagogical, a teacher, but I use technology when I can. The third issue that was raised was shout out and let everybody know about your story. RENU, you need to shout out. I don't think Ministry of Education knows a lot about RENU because they keep asking, what is RENU? I don't think Mama, who is the Minister of Education, can speak ably about RENU. We need to shout out RENU. This is a big story that needs to be heard. So how many of us have heard about the virtual seminars? I'm here to shout out about the virtual seminars. You guys have no students at secondary school? During COVID, the virtual seminars were high on the agenda. Have you heard about the virtual farm camp that was held in 2021? Yes. Where we skilled over 5,000 participants, youth in agriculture, virtually, reaching them from their homes and taking them to the various farms. And RENU was here to support us, and I thank you, RENU. So the virtual seminars are brought to you by the Holistic eLearning platform. It is a network of teachers and schools at that. I hope they click. Many of the young people here could have done mathematics, and during the space of time between 1996 and 2018, we were busy organizing physical conferences, calling them seminars. And the best we could do is to bring around 10 schools within the central Uganda, hoping that we are doing a job. And yet, we had quite a number of learners out there. And a discussion with the UCC started on that 1st April 2018, the Fool's Day. We had fooled ourselves so much, talking about a few schools learning together, quality education, and yet the country is a wide country. Some 4 schools and we see if they can interact. So these were the 4 schools, and one of you might have been to these schools. We started a project in 4 schools with 4 subjects, and we set out to develop teaching materials, developing online courses that can be accessed by anyone, anytime. And we developed a learning management system, a learning management virtual seminar, or having a virtual classroom. We want it simple, and the setup should be very simple. If you can have a laptop or even a phone, a projector for a wider class, a sound system, a camera stand to make it easy, and microphones, then you're good to go. And this is the setup we would like funders to support the schools with, so that we can talk. In the preparation of the seminar, we also try to support the schools. You prepare the discussion questions. Many of you are familiar with this at your secondary level, collaboratively with the teachers. Share the questions with the schools. You can see Kahiju SS photo, you can see the picture there. They are busy downloading the questions that were posted on the notes board. And then the preparation goes on in schools. We hold a meeting with the teachers to support one of the virtual sessions ongoing, and they are busy learning. That is the promise of technology, to give common learning. So if all our education institutions in Uganda were to come onto the RENU network and we archive our content in the RENU cloud, then all this can be accessed easily and with good speed. Gayaza High School, my own, also has a RENU connection, and this was a session, one of those virtual seminars, and this is how the classroom looks. This is one of the seminars we held during that COVID time when the candidates went back to school, and we had the Senior 4 and Senior 6 seminars. And of course, when the results came back, we got so many messages, because we have over 35 classrooms on WhatsApp from Senior 1 to Senior 6. So when they are back on holiday, they share with us what the outcome is. But particularly these candidates loved the virtual seminars because, one, they were able to connect as a country, but they were able to listen in to senior teachers as well as listen in to their colleagues on what to do when the exam comes. So virtual seminars are going to help us to bring the whole country together. This is in Valley SS with a RENU connection, and our way forward is that we need one computer or one laptop with this eDROM connection. I really believe that this can happen, and it can happen in the 10,000 schools we have, and please let us work going forward to realize this. Of ICT, but the students are there to support, and the teachers need to accept that the students are here to help. The parents provide that funding that is required, and therefore we need to reach out to them. We also visited Maction Falls for them to really appreciate the other world around them and use it within their classrooms. We have the young, the middle-aged, and the seniors like us who are mentoring these teachers. And the problem must be solved, and the problem is there is a learning gap. This learning gap must be closed at all levels. Even within the universities, there is a learning gap because the human resources are not the same. So ladies and gentlemen, I now invite you, if the video can go on, so that you listen to the beneficiaries of this program. Navisusa, you are live. Please continue.
Good morning. I'm Joy and Krishna, and we are presenting number 2, cassette number. So that is a Venn diagram. I shall continue from there. So they tell us that in a certain school there are 50 students who play 3 games, namely chess, tennis, volleyball, of which 24 play chess, 26 play tennis, and 29 play volleyball. 9 play both chess and volleyball. 13 play both tennis and volleyball, and 11 play chess and tennis. And they give us an additional statement down there to tell us that each of the students play at least one game, meaning either one game or multiple number of games. So represent the information in the Venn diagram. So from the information, I know there are 3 sets already.
Hello everyone, I'm Harunda Joyce Faith from Uganda Secondary School, working out number 21A under the topic of mensuration in the practice questions. Number 21A is about a lampshade, and we are required to find its total surface area. And there are so many types of lampshades. Our lampshade, this is our lampshade, it's closed at one end. So to find its total surface area, we shall need the area of the circular surface and the area of the curved surface. As illustrated here, we have the circular surface and the curved surface. But this lampshade was got by a result of chopping off. It was a full one like this, and we chopped off. So this was removed to form this cone, and this and the whole of it formed this one. So to find our curved total surface area for the lampshade, we shall need
frequency is always the same as the first value from the frequency, and then the last one is always the same as the summation of your frequency. So to get the values that are in the cumulative frequency, so you are seeing we have the first value from frequency and cumulative frequency being the same. That is 4 and 4. The next one is 5. So you go add 4.
500 shillings each, and oranges cost 250 shillings each, and she's given only 2,000 shillings to spend. This is our statement, and we can derive our first inequality from there.
So you should come up with something like this. This is a drawn graph.
The digits 8, 5, and 7 without repeating any digit in the number form. Write down the possibility space for numbers form. So we're going to start by listing down the number of elements, like the number of sample spaces, and we do this by listing down our numbers in ascending order. So we have, since they told us our numbers are 5, 7, and 8, we start with 5. 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 7. These are possible numbers that can be formed. Then we go to 7, which is 7, 5, 8, and 7, 8.
So therefore, h -2 is going to be given by the formula.
You get to know another person's point of view and what they've been learning, and maybe if there's something contradicting, and you get to know that not everything is hard, because we've been learning these things in like topics. If we learn like everything at the same time, it's going to be hard, but as long as we section it into topics, then it's a lot easier to understand and very much broken down.
E-learning has been a wonderful experience. It has made learning possible in a sense that even if you're at home, you can get a chance to access learning. Just like in lockdown, many people in many areas, many students have been able to access learning, even though their teachers weren't around.
Because times are changing, and most of the things people have been taught in math these days aren't going to really help them. But through this seminar, we've been able to see how different topics are used in our lives. So the government needs to create more programs like this seminar in order to help and extend help for, like, let's say in Karamoja, who can't really access it, so that we can all work together and in future at least have more women professors in math.
It has been a wonderful experience. We had time to interact with our learners even when they're at home. Our teachers, by the those days, used to move around with chalk everywhere. I no longer use chalk. I now teach even in class. I use this technology. So I would like to thank Honorable Ngobi and Mr. Du for bringing this challenge to us. At first we think things are not possible, but now we can have a seminar for the whole country, in your schools. It has cut down the costs of carrying students from one place to another in the name of a seminar and the risks, all the risks involved. So I think it is a way to go. I call upon all my colleagues, math teachers, science teachers, history, all teachers all over the country to embrace online learning.
I would like to appeal to the government to support the research institutions that have come up to support the schools, such as the Research Network of Uganda, RENU, that if at all the government can help to reduce on the costs of the internet, then you can have very many schools connect online and they can be able to learn. So if at all the internet costs are reduced, we shall have the gap narrowed. The gap between the urban and the rural schools will be narrowed, and then we shall be promoting the sustainable development goal number 4.
In 125 over 128 as required. That has been our question for presentation. Thank you.
I'm going to keep this constant. Time was 1 minus 2x squared power a half minus, since we are using quotient rule, keep this constant, differentiate the x cubed. I'm going to get an L, because if I differentiate L,
seminars are beneficial to me because there are some topics that we grasp in class, and okay, you're not well observant with them, but if at all you get time and you're exposed to other schools and you see how other teachers teach them, you can at least pick something to add on what you have. I feel like sometimes I don't want them, but if at all you come to the seminars and there is another student presenting it in a different way, and it's more simpler according to the way you were taught about it, and the other one is presenting it in a simpler way, there is where you grasp it easier than the way you would have got it in class. So
some numbers are, like when we do them as us, they're somehow lengthy and long. They're lengthy in their methods, but when you are like in those seminars, like the virtual ones, you get a simpler method which is somehow short and maybe that is understandable by someone.
During these virtual seminars, we also share, just in case we have something wrong, we can be corrected by other teachers from different schools and our teacher.
First of all, before I joined HeLP, I didn't know that we can reach all over the country just online. But after I joined HeLP, I would teach students online from different schools, and I found it a good thing because I was not limited only to Ampeo, but I was becoming a national teacher, teaching.
In addition to sharing knowledge, the student is traveling countrywide, knowing different places, different schools without leaving the school. It also improves on their communication skills as they answer the questions, and also it gives them self-confidence. And since they are using gadgets that are of modern technology, it also helps them improve on the way they are manipulating the gadgets.
I've said don't deny your learners this opportunity. Let them participate freely, they'll enjoy, they'll learn, they get used to the virtual world. This is where we are going. We are talking about entering into the metaverse, so where everything is connected. You can see that we have a few teachers handling the sessions, and you can reach more students in more places when you have not even moved an inch. So that is a very good positive development. We can be able to reach very many students and offer them high quality learning just at the convenience of their phone or a laptop or school lab.
Today we have seen the virtual mathematics seminar where many schools come together, and we see students from across the divide talking together, learning from each other, listening in to one teacher and sharing. And I think through technology we should be able to close this gap within our schools. Our schools are not at the same level. We don't have enough teachers, we don't have the same teachers across schools. But when you bring schools together like this, then it means that you are closing the learning gap. But beyond that, the children grow as one child, as one citizen of Uganda, and that is to promote patriotism. When they come to the university, they are one. They know that we learned together, we are one school. Otherwise, if this does not happen, then we begin to see fragmented learning, we see unpatriotic citizens, we see children who are only concerned about their own colleagues with whom they studied, and that is not very good. So I want to request all the schools to work very hard and bring technology to their classes, bring internet into their schools, and organizations like RENU are here to support us with minimal costs. And the beauty with having RENU connecting all our schools is that when you're on the same network, then it is cheap and easy for you to interact.
As RENU and as the vehicle that was started by the Vice Chancellor and ED, what we have done was to bring together these education institutions in Uganda, including schools, onto one network so that they can be able to collaborate and do a lot more together than they had been doing in the past. So they can collaborate nationally, regionally, and internationally using RENU. We have been extending internet connectivity to a number of schools, a number of universities, and a number of research institutions in Uganda, and now our network is countrywide. So be it in Chisoro, be it in Arua, Kampala, Mbale, Far North, RENU is present.
Same year, Uganda Communications Commission (UCC), under its Rural Communications Development Fund, signed a memorandum of understanding with RENU to extend high internet connection to 55 secondary schools.
Going as partners, we facilitate through RENU for more secondary schools to be connected to the internet. So it's no longer just about tertiary institutions and already established research institutions, but now they have gone into the crust of educational institutions. So now that they have embraced secondary school, I look forward to them even embracing primary school, because it's all educational institutions. So that at the end of the day, we know that there is an institution ensuring that all educational institutions have connectivity and are able to utilize the internet for good.
M1 times M2 will be -1. S minus A.
Ronald Dungu is an influential personality in promoting digital education among secondary schools. He initiated the holistic e-learning project among secondary schools in different parts of the country onto the RENU network. The project partners with RENU to enable virtual sharing of knowledge among secondary schools.
This means that if I select box B, there are 3 more times of chance.
Currently, he is seated at the RENU headquarters, moderating an L-level mathematics virtual seminar among 64 participating secondary schools over the RENU network.
This is one way we would like to cover the gap, reduce the gap between the urban and rural schools. And I'm sure at one point we'll have 1,000 schools connected to one screen and learning together.
This is the first virtual seminar I've had today, so I would say it's better than the physicals I've had before. Because before we would have problems with the space. First of all, you're going to a school and they're telling you can only take 30 girls, but you have a class of about 60 people because the school cannot accommodate all of you. But at least here we connect from our different regions, but all of us are present.